today it is super rainy, and you know what that means. It means we have to go have a very aesthetic day. So today I'm planning on going out with Eli to some used bookstores, and there's nothing particular that I want, but I definitely want the vibes and to be just inspired to maybe pick up a book that I wouldn't have picked up otherwise and isn't like all over TikTok and everything, because honestly the internet's choices have been kind of disappointing me lately. So yeah, we're gonna go do that, and hopefully we'll get coffee at some point in the day because I feel like I'm gonna need it. We're gonna go in the rain to some bookstores and it's gonna be really fun.
This is my fit check.
Yes. All right, we have returned from the bookstore. We tried to go to a second one, but it was a little suspicious. So we just turned around and went home. Would you like to go first?
Sure. Like a little mini novella of The Shawshank Redemption, one of my favorite films. I got a lovely book called Losing Earth, A Recent History. Never heard of this one, but it looks pretty interesting. I got probably one of the most iconic books about the environment ever produced, Inconvenient Truth, and it was half off, $6, so it's $3. Pretty skookum deal. Yeah.
That's fast.
I'm speedy.
So I got Survive the Night by Riley Sager? By this person, and I really wanted to read one of their books, and I saw this one and I was like, great way to start. So I already knew a lot about what it's about. Basically, I think this girl's driving with someone who she suspects is this serial killer that's been on the news a lot, and then they're going on this drive and I think she tries to escape. But I heard mixed reviews and I just want to insert my opinion where it is not needed, because yeah. Next I got the Rosie Project, and I mean, it sounded interesting to me. In real life I've not heard amazing things, but not in real life in person I've heard good things. So again, this is another situation where we'll see, because you know, TikTok's disappointing me, so yeah. And then lastly, I got Anxious People, and Eli says he's gonna read this after me, right? So we both thought it was interesting and it looks cool. So that's what I got. And I definitely think Survive the Night is the first one I'll read, but like, look, so satisfying.
Mine are much less fun.
Hi. We are gonna go to Eli's house to eat food, and then we're going to a hockey game tonight.
After Boston Pizza.
Yeah, gotta have dinner. So. Hello, so this is a couple of days after the book shopping, and I'm gonna start reading Anxious People because I don't think Survive the Night counts as like a book I haven't seen go viral on TikTok, because I have seen people talk about it there. However, I've not seen people talk about the Rosie Project or Anxious People, so I feel like those two are gonna count. Yeah. So today I am taking transit to school. It takes me anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour to get there, and I just arrived at the bus. So it's raining pretty bad, which means I'm not gonna be able to read well like waiting in between like transitions. I'll only be able to read when I'm like on the bus, on the train. So it's probably gonna limit my reading, but I am gonna try really hard to read whenever I have downtime. So if I get to school early, I'm gonna be reading instead of wasting my time on my phone looking at viral books that are going to disappoint me anyways. So yeah, that's what we are doing today. Overnight we got a lot of snow, and I was not expecting that today, but alas, here we are. There was actually zero snow on the ground earlier. No snow. And then overnight, boom, all of a sudden we have snow. Anyways, hello and happy almost end of January. When you're watching this, it probably is gonna be February, but I don't really know. So my life has been changed. My brain chemistry has permanently been altered. I am no longer the same person as I was after reading this book, Anxious People. This is by Frederick Backman. Genius. This man is so poetic, so smart, so thoughtful. This book was not what I was expecting it to be. When I read the description of the book, and I'm sure most people when they pick this up are expecting something completely different than what they actually get, because it basically describes this as a hostage drama. This story is about this bank robber who runs away from his bank robbery into this apartment building, and there's a apartment viewing, right? The apartment's for sale. So there's a bunch of prospective buyers in there. To get to safety, the bank robber runs into this apartment building and holds everyone hostage. Except for the fact that the story is about everything except for this bank robber holding everyone hostage. This story is about the two police officers who are dealing with so much, and through this investigation and whole process, we really get to learn about their dynamic, and the way their story ended, I thought was very sweet. It is about this event that happened that is connected to everyone. And I will say before you read this, there are a lot of trigger warnings that you probably need to look at, because I was not expecting how heavy a lot of these themes would be, because the tone of the book is very comedic, and then it very quickly will go super deep, and I was not expecting that. I talked a lot about mental health, and I feel like it's bad that I actually really ship the psychologist with her patient. Is that bad? I feel like it might be bad, but I just wanted to say I hope I'm not alone in that, and I thought that's genuinely where it was going.
but I could also just be delusional. A few things about this book that I did just want to say is the police work was, I hope, unrealistic. They're doing all of these witness interviews, like asking these people all these questions, like, is there maybe a hiding spot in the apartment that we don't know about? Why couldn't they just look in the apartment? These are prospective buyers. They've done as much looking as you up to that point. Like, why can't you go in there and actually do a detailed look around the apartment? That was my question. I feel like they have a right to be in there. There was just like a bunch of hostages in this whole crime scene. I feel like it should be allowed. I don't know the rules. I don't know anything about policing, but I just feel like it was interesting. I'm willing to overlook it though. It was so good, and on Goodreads I gave it 5 stars, but also it should be noted that I give a lot of books 5 stars and it's not hard to get 5 stars. I really determine if a book is 4 or 5 stars. That's the decision. If I hated a book so much, I'm gonna give it 3 stars because that's just the way I am. Also, I will say this book gave me what I was hoping We Were Liars would give me. So if you enjoyed that book, which I didn't, but sure, maybe try reading this book. They're actually not that similar, but it's what this book gave. Or instead of picking up that book because you think it sounds interesting, read this one instead. I will say I did notice on Goodreads it is actually a really popular book. I personally just haven't seen it floating around, so I thought that I would be more, you know, in the minority. Apparently it is actually really popular. It's just not like a TikTok book. I probably wouldn't have found it if it weren't for going to that bookstore and just like picking up things that sounded interesting to me instead of what sounded interesting to the rest of the world. I'm very grateful for that experience. This is probably gonna be one of my favorite books of the year. And I just found out that they made this into a Netflix adaptation. So you best believe I am watching that. And then that's probably gonna be the end of this vlog, but I need to see it. Eli said he might want to read this book, and I definitely think the book is 100% gonna be better than the TV adaptation, which everyone says is true all the time. Like, the book's always better, but sometimes the book is not. It's rare, but sometimes the adaptation is better. But this is definitely, I know, gonna be one of those cases where it can't be better than this. But I'm willing to be open-minded and watch that. I recommend this book for everyone. I recommend this book for most people. I would say it's gonna be a harder book for some people based on the themes, but I think for the people in my life, at least, I feel like Eli would like this book. I feel like my mother would like this book. I don't know if she's read it or not. I feel like she might have, but we'll see. It's a 10 out of 10 experience, and now I'm going to hopefully watch the Netflix adaptation. I just wrote a very long, very stressful math test, so now I'm going to take the opportunity to watch the Netflix adaptation of Anxious People, and I think that there's 6 episodes, and I'm so excited. They're all like 30 minutes long, and I really hope it's going to be good because it looks really good. So it's the next day, and I have just spent the first half of my day binging the whole Anxious People series on Netflix, and it was really cute. I enjoyed it. Everything they changed or added or, you know, put more focus on. There wasn't a lot of that, but it felt very intentional and it was well done. So I wasn't bothered by it, and it was a good experience. And I guess that's going to conclude this vlog. Thank you for being with me. Okay, bye.